cleaned up the floor, and now we're gonna lay tile. And the tile looks like this stuff, right? And so we use so much subway looking tile, so that's, you know, like, it looks like a random pattern, but it's not, that we hardly ever have to chalk lines anymore. But for this one, we're chalk lines, so I figured I'd tell you how it works. So what we want to do is we want to get full tiles in as many places as possible. And in this case, this is the longest, straightest wall, so we're going to have full tiles here, and then we're going to have full tiles on this one. We have to start from the center, and we have to start in the closet, because I can't, once I'm in there, I have to work my way out, right? So with chalk lines, you can kind of see what we've got in here. And this is how this works, right? So then what happens, in case you guys have not seen this, is you take your mortar and you mix that up. And do you have anything on your heart you want to talk about?
No.
You sure?
Positive.
Okay, what about this? You think that instead of gossiping about people, we talk good about them behind their back?
Like who?
Everybody in general. We talk, make that a rule for your life. Wouldn't it be better to be like, hey man, I was...
If everybody does that, yes, but not everybody's going to do that.
But what about you? What do you want to do?
Huh?
You want to talk good behind people's back or not? No?
They don't piss me off, that's fine.
All right, well, I want to talk good about people behind their back because I want people to talk good about me behind my back. I realize they don't. I'm okay with it. All right, so you see we left the line here, and then, as I suspected, this one's going to need to be cut. So we got to mark this and cut it, but basically just put it in place, and that's pretty simple. So we're going to mark that. So sometimes I can just look at somebody and tell, you're judgmental. Like I can just look at them and tell, you're judgmental. Does that sound like I'm judging? Wait a minute. Oh, darn it. I think, you know what, I'm the one doing judging. All right, so we lay this tile. Come on over. Don't step on it. We laid out this tile. We got all the paint done. Tomorrow we'll come back and go out, touch things up, and so on and so forth. So it'll be truly amazing. And I'm so very excited. Now, I know that I've got different people from different walks of life that watch these wonderful videos, and I just want to say that if you're an astronaut, and if you're thinking about breaking up with your significant other, and you don't say, look, I need space, you're really robbing all of us. So please use that line and film yourself doing it. Okay, thanks. Hey, so maybe you are thinking to yourself, I wonder what John's up to today? Well, we got all this done. James did all the hard work. I did not too much. So we laid all this tile, got all the grout done, got everything painted. Remember this was all stained wood yesterday? We put a new fan in. This fan is pretty awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on for you so you can see it. Watch this. Got a remote. No fan blades, you can't hardly, I mean, you can't get hurt, right? And then the light is pretty rock and roll too. Anyway, that's pretty neat. What do you want to talk about, James?
Going home?
Going home. Okay, so to get home in the big scheme of things, not just right now, let's talk about the difference between potential and actually doing something. Okay, so when we started this job, we had the potential to get it done. Now, I firmly believe that we were going to do it. I had the faith to know that we were going to get this done because I don't stop till we're done, right? Some people don't. Some people look and they go, I got potential. The end. That's good enough. It's not good enough, okay? So let me give you a couple examples. Number 8. I heard a song once, and this guy says, right now, you've got $1 million worth of talent. By the time I'm done with you, you'll have $1 million. Do you see the difference? We had a potential to have a cool room. We made it a cool room. You have potential to have $1 million. You made $1 million. Now, what about a story in the Bible? James, you got anything? The story of the talents. Very good. So, in this story, Jesus says that there are 3 men, and their master comes to them and says, I'm going to give you each a different amount, a different set of talents, and then you need to do something with this because you work for me, right? And they're like, got it. So he leaves and he is gone for a very long time, it says. And he gives one talent, and one 2 talents, and one 5 talents. Now, so anyway, then he comes back, okay, after a very long time, and says, time to settle up. Let's see what you did with what I gave you. And to the one that had 5 talents, he said, what'd you do with the talents I gave you? And he goes, Lord, behold, I took the 5 talents that you gave me, and I was diligent with it, and I got you 5 more. And he said, well done, good and faithful servant. Now I'm going to make, you've done well with small things, now I'm going to make you in charge of 10 cities. So then the next servant comes up and he says, you gave me 2 talents, and behold, I got you 2 more. And he said, well done, good and faithful servant. Because you've done well with small things, I'm now you'll do well with big things as well. I'm making you in charge of 4 cities. And then the guy with 1 talent he came to him and said, let's settle up. And he goes, I knew that you were a hard man. I knew that you were a tough businessman. And so I didn't want to lose your money. He's like, all right. So I took it and I buried it. And here's your money back. And he said, you wicked, evil servant. Why didn't you at least put it in the bank and get me interest? I didn't give you this just so you could throw it away. I didn't want you to give it to me and give it right back. I wanted you to do something with it, right? So he was thrown out. First of all, the talent that he had was given to the man who had 10. And then he was thrown out to where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth, which traditionally means he went to hell, okay? Now, I want to just interject here and say, when we think of talents, we think of like, hey, I've got a talent to play the guitar, I've got a talent to, I don't know, do construction or whatever. But a talent in those days was between 75 and 100 pounds of gold, okay? So I looked it up this morning because, you know, I'm cool like that. And it was between $1.5 million to $2 million roughly per talent. So he gave this one guy $10 million and another guy $4 million and another guy $2 million. That's not a small amount. We're not talking about like, oh, here's 10 bucks, you know, see when I get back. This is like, I want you to do something with this. So whenever he comes back, he rewards the people that did something, not the people that have potential to do something. They all have potential. They all had a different amount. He didn't judge the man with the 1 on, you didn't give me 10. He just said, what did you do with what I gave you, right? It's different for everybody. But the important thing to note here is that the one that went to hell didn't go to hell for being Hitler. He didn't go to hell for mass murdering people, for molesting children. No bad thing. He went to hell for doing nothing with what God gave him. So think about that. And I'll see you on the next one.
Welcome to yet another episode of John Works Too Much. Today, we will be taking all this siding off and replacing it with Hardie siding. And then we're going to paint all that. It's going to be beautiful. We're so very excited. So, for just 15 cents a day, for 15 pennies a day, you can feed an African child. I guess they eat pennies. When I was over there, I didn't see them eat pennies, but I've heard that, and I don't know if it's true. All right, so what we're going to have to do, this is all vinyl siding and soffit. We're going to take all this off, and we're going to make it pretty again. We're going to put new soffit and new paint and everything on there. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So look, I know it's Monday morning. A lot of you guys want to cry about that. Go ahead, cry all you want. You'll pee less. You guys are still watching us?
I would.
Yeah, I would. We're pretty interesting people. All right, so across here, we just had a micro tornado come through. It was a Hurricane MJ, which is for Mike and John. Tornado MJ.
Micro tornado.
It's a micro tornado. Very good. So we tore all this stuff off, not all of it, but enough that we could fill our truck. Let's take a look at that. That's safety right there. We care about safety and we care about you. All right, so what you want to talk about? Anything? What's on your heart? Christina, what's on your heart? Good things? Tailgating. No, we don't want to talk about tailgating. Let's talk about something else that's more important. Johnny Appleseed. You want to talk about Johnny Appleseed?
Yeah.
All right, good. So as you guys know, Johnny Appleseed was like, apples are delicious and healthy, and they keep the doctors away. Everybody wants that. And so he's like, I'm going to make it my life's goal to just put apple seeds everywhere, to just plant them everywhere. And because of him, there are a lot of apple trees, especially up in Washington. So he said, you can count the seeds in an apple, but you can't count the apples in a seed because they just keep reproducing, right? So then the question is, what are you doing in your life that keeps reproducing? Are you doing bad things? We're not happy about this. Are you doing good things? We are happy about this, right? Yeah. Good morning. So, up until this point, I have not been a basic white girl, but we went on a quest for Starbucks because science. And here I am. And now let's just see if this works. I've never actually drank coffee before, and especially not Starbucks coffee. Actually, it's hot chocolate, full disclosure, but let's just see what happens. Oh, you know, I asked for 2 pumps of mocha latte and with the salted rim, and they only gave me 4 half pumps. So I don't know if I'm really happy about that. Anyway, yesterday we put some siding on, but it was late by the time we got done. So we put some siding on. We're going to keep going. It's going to look way better afterwards. Now, Mike, do you have problems sometimes with remembering things these days because it was your birthday yesterday?
Not because of my birthday, but yeah.
Yeah, right. So this will help you, and it will help all of you guys watching get a memory foam mattress, right? You'll be laying there, you remember all kinds of stuff. Like, I really regret this thing and this thing and this thing. It'll be mostly regrets. They should just call it a regret foam mattress. Anyway, we're gonna do some work because this isn't gonna last forever. Good morning. So we're clearly putting up some siding. We've got some felt up there. That's good. That's a vapor barrier, and we're pretty happy about our progress. And I see this sometimes in life, and it makes me sad. I want to cry for other people because I'm like, you poor thing. But then it happened to me. I'm sorry. This is really an emotional time for me. I lost my soul, and I don't know how to get it back where it needs to be. I don't even know where you put the soul. What in the devil just stole my soul? I blame Obama. Oh, you guys are still watching us. Okay, so today we got some siding up here. We have not trimmed out yet. I understand this. We also got a little bit of siding here. We've got some felt up, synthetic felt. And I know that a lot of you guys are going to be like, oh, John, you didn't finish, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't look perfect yet. We know, it's not done. So look, this reminds me of some scripture. The Bible says some things that are kind of important. It says, husbands, love your wives. It says, wives, respect your husbands. And it says, fathers, don't exasperate your children, okay? Now, it doesn't tell us things that we already do naturally, right? It says, husbands, love your wives, because we are not inclined to do that. So it reminds us, hey, love your wife. Like, tell her that you love her a lot. She'll forget. Do nice things for her. Wives, respect your husbands. We want that. We want you to say that you love us. I can't really include us in that because I'm single, but you know, guys want to be told that you love us, but we also want to be respected, right? And I see all these people, they undermine their husbands all the time. They're like, oh, he's an idiot, blah, blah, blah. You know, I've got some friends and there's an opportunity for this lady to say something bad about her husband. And they've been together 25 years or something like that. And she said, why would I say anything bad about my husband? I love him. He's my hero. As far as I'm concerned, he can do no wrong. Like, he has made my life complete. And I'm like, wow, I wish more people would act like that. Anyway, the important thing here is fathers don't exasperate your children, right? This is easy for fathers to do. We forget that we didn't learn this thing till 5 years ago, and all of a sudden we expect a 5-year-old to know everything that we know. They're not going to know it. Don't wear them out. Give them opportunity to figure it out for themselves, right? Because it is natural for us to be like, hurry up and figure it out. Daddy does it, you do it too. But it's not like that. And if we exasperate our children to the point where they're like, I give up, I can't do any good, it doesn't matter what I do, they will turn into bad kids. And really that's on you as a father who exasperates your children, because you are forcing their hand, because you don't let them have the opportunity to have enough freedom to find themselves, right? So don't do that. Don't exasperate your children. Bosses, don't exasperate your helpers, right? If you're constantly like impossible to please, no matter what they do, there's something wrong, those people will give up trying. They want to please you, but they will give up trying because there's nothing they can do to make you happy. Don't be that person. Be the good person. The people are like, I like working for you. I like being your son. I like being married to you because you're a pleasure to be around. Some of you guys might need to work on that a little bit. Some of you don't. Some of you are very inspiring. Anyway, tomorrow we're going to trim all this out, keep on working, and we're going to get around the other side and keep on going, because that's what we do. We don't give up, because quitters never win and winners never quit. So, good morning. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. So we're putting on siding and we're putting on trim this morning because everybody was like, John, finish your work. And I'm like, fine, I'll finish my work. But I want to explain how this works. So when you're at the outside of a house, when you're in siding or trim or roof soffit or any of that kind of stuff, you want to think about water penetration. You want to keep the water outside. Even though we're made of water, it also destroys things. So the way that we do that is everywhere you get the opportunity to seal up from water, you take that opportunity. So if this board came across this way, then there'd be a seam right here, and water would eventually get into that crack and probably rot out underneath your window. So rather than that, then we have a board across here, and then this one comes all the way down, and then even if water got in here, it would just run right out. Wouldn't be a problem. You never caulk the bottom of a window, because if water does get in, you want it to be able to get out. You don't want it to hold in there. Then on the top, we come up from here to the bottom of this board and then bring this one over top of it so that water, we don't want water to come in here through this seam and then get back behind stuff. It's less likely to get in this way. Water can always get its way in there. So if you look around your house, like your caulk line is bad, then fix it. Just caulk it and touch up the paint. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that hard. All right, so sometimes in life, and maybe this last 2 years with our current pandemic is a good example, sometimes in life you're going on a trajectory and you're like, I'm headed straight up, everything's going to be good in my life, and then all of a sudden you feel like I'm being pulled back into the yuck. Like, how am I going backwards? This is not good for me. I don't like this so much. I want you to think about this. Imagine that you've got a bow and arrow, okay? And this is my bow, and then I got my arrow. If I'm just like this and just push it forward, it will not do well. It will not hurt anybody. It won't kill whatever you want to get. It won't get to your target. But if you pull it back, and even the farther you pull it back, the harder it's going to go. And then you let go. That thing's going to launch right at its target, and it's going to go right through the heart of whatever you're trying to kill. Hopefully you're not trying to kill anything. But the moral of the story is that sometimes you have to retreat to move forward. And sometimes what feels like is bringing you back in life is actually launching you to something that you could never reach otherwise. So I hope that helps you with your day. We're going to start working again. Hey, so you're probably thinking to yourself, Self, I want to know some stuff. I wish John would teach me. Never fear. I'm here for you. Okay, so number 8. How would I, if I was a person, which I am, get water to not go into this area or back behind here? How would I do that? You don't know? I'll tell you. So this is called step flashing, okay? As you can see, there's a piece of step flashing that comes up and over, and then water can't come in here because it'll, it just won't. But then you put a shingle, then you put another piece of step flashing, another shingle, another piece of step flashing, you weave that up. But then here, if it rained, water would just get right back behind here. Not great. You don't want that. So obviously we have felt over top of that, and then we'll put siding over top of that, and then water can't get down there, back up underneath, and then back in, or it's highly unlikely unless it, I don't know, floods the whole thing. But how do we figure out this angle, right? That's a good question. I've already kind of cheated here, but we'll get something that's level, right? We'll get a level on here. Like, oh, look at that, that's level. That's so weird. And then we'll carry this on out the rest of the way, and we measure this distance between this point and this point, okay? Which is, I'm gonna take a guess here. What do you think? 19 1/4? Oh my God! It's 19 1/4. And then we measure here, 19 1/4, and then we cut this line, and then once that's cut, that should fit right in there. And so then from there on out, what we're gonna do, what we're gonna do on this is we're going to cut this, make sure that it works, and then we'll mark this as a template. And from that point forward, for all the rest of these cuts and for the cuts on the other side, we'll just trace this line, and that'll be the right angle. Okay, so that's how you figure out that angle. Here in a minute, we'll test it out and see if it works. Hopefully I'm right. So, as the prophecy foretold, the angle was correct. So we just made the template, and then we marked all these, and then look at that, they're all the same. Because once you find the pitch on something, all right, so this is kind of interesting. These old windows used to have big weights on them. See how that's a big weight on a rope? And it's actually got some, it's probably, I don't know, 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds, which doesn't seem like that much, but it is. So then it comes up around a pulley and then attaches to the window. And when you lift your window up, then, so as you lift the window up, then it goes around the pulley, and the weights help pull it on both sides. And so they're pulling down, which is pulling the window up. It's kind of how a garage door works with extension springs, but now they have torsion springs. But anyway, this is how they used to be, and now there's springs that are inside of the windows, and they help pull the window up for you too, so it's effortless. But that's what old school windows used to look like, and so now you're that much smarter. You have one more piece of trivia to add to your thing. Oh, hi there. A lot of people talk about spiritual gifts, and I'm sure that everybody has one. Hopefully you do, probably several, you just don't know about it. One of my spiritual gifts is destruction. As you can clearly tell, I destroy things. And you caught me black-handed on this one. So I want to talk to you guys about the fact that one day your pain will be part of the story of your salvation. It will be part of your story of redemption, and it will be part of the story that inspires other people and makes their lives better too. So don't be afraid of your pain, because you're not a coward. You're better than that. Christina, what you want to talk about? Literally anything. Nothing. She says, don't look at me, don't say my name. Your last name is Smith. Christina Smith. Got it. Okay. Well, I want to talk about the fact that we haven't really taken a good look at this place yet. So when we see this and it's beautiful, I want you to see it now that it's ugly. We had another micro tornado. This one didn't have Mike in it. This was just mostly me tornado. It was a John-nado. Anyway, we tore all this off and all that off, and as you can clearly tell, it's over here, safely nestled inside the truck. Nothing to see there. Look over this way. So we are so very excited about this because when things are ugly, they're about to be made beautiful. And I can't emphasize this enough. I know I say it a lot, but oftentimes we have to, so to make something beautiful, we have to take out the ugly and take out the broken, and then we replace it all. And I want to tell you once again why I want to be cremated. This is why. Because when I die, I don't want God to have anything to work with. I want him to be like, I got to make everything new. He burned it all. Knucklehead burned every bit of it. So I'm going to make everything new and beautiful. I don't want him to be like, you know, his liver's not that bad. He didn't drink, his liver's not that bad. I want to be like, nope, I want a new one. His eyes aren't that bad. He can see pretty good. Nope, give me some new ones. His hair looks pretty good. Like, nope, give me some new hair. Whatever, every last bit of it. I want God to be like, I'm going to make you 100% new. And so that's what, we're not going to do everything new on this because we don't have the budget, but we are going to make everything new. And to do that, we're going to take away the ugly and take away the bad stuff. And so it always looks bad for a while. And you look at this, and it would be real easy to look at this and go, ugh, why even try? Why even bother? Like, somebody should just give up on that and mow it over. And I think people think that about people too. I think they look at people when they're in this shape, right? And they're trying to do something with their lives. They're trying to make something better with their lives. But instead, all people see is like at the moment. They take a snapshot of this and they go, that's what you are. You're ugly and you're falling apart and we don't want anything to do with you. And that's sad to me, because those people, if you give them just a little bit more time and a little bit more love and attention, those people real soon and watch will become beautiful. And everybody will look and be like, ooh, that is a nice place to be. I wish I was there. So remember that. When you see somebody, don't look at what they are, but look at their potential, and then encourage that and help them to become that. So hope you have a wonderful night. We're gonna go eat Mediterranean. Oh, good morning. So this morning, we are going to start siding all this area. We already put in a door, and that's beautiful, and it works. And so you want a door to work. You want to swing and then close easily. That's part of life. So we're gonna do some of that. We're very excited. Now I want to talk to you guys about paralysis from overanalysis. And I know what you're thinking. That's a lot of big words, John. I only use words that have 4 letters, and that's pretty much the extent of my vocabulary. We're gonna expand on this. Okay. You're being paralyzed because you overanalyze, because you think about it too much and you don't actually do anything. It's what these perfectionists, right? What happens is they go, I'm a perfectionist, so I won't do anything unless I can do it perfect. Nobody can do anything perfect. Get out there and do something. Learn how to do stuff. Do it right, all right? Now let's just take a quick walk over here. Whoa. Oh my goodness. It looks like, what is this? Mike, get down here. Is this, oh. Miniature Galagher must have been here. He left his huge sledgehammer and these watermelons. Don't worry, little Galagher. If you were worried about what people would think of you because you're small or whatever, I'll finish your work for you. Here, Mike, back up. I don't want to get a splatter with this. Do you wear your rain suit? Let's take a look. Ready? Come on, little Galagher. This is for you. Oh, yeah. I understand why he does this for a living. This is great. Hold on a second. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's even debris on here. That's better. Oh, hey there. So look, it is late October, and I think everybody knows what that means. We're coming up on the holidays. And a lot of people are like, I love the holidays because I get to do holy things, holy days, holidays. And other people are like, not so much. And let me explain to you why. They're lonely. And so they're used to being able to see people, you know, fairly regularly. But now for the next 3 months, it's going to be, oh, sorry, we're with our family for Halloween, we're with our family for Thanksgiving, we're with our family for Christmas, we're with our family for New Year's. And so from October till January, February, something like that, is a very lonely time for people like myself and other people. So really, I always try to make myself very busy and have a lot of projects during this time of the year, because otherwise I'm basically going to sit on my big pillow and cry and scream a delicate song to my cat. That's kind of sad. So, you know, be considerate of people that are alone, or even everybody for that matter. But, you know, the seasons are changing. I'm sure you noticed I was wearing pants the other day because it dropped below 100 degrees because, you know, it's almost Halloween. But let's just see if anything else has changed. Let's take a quick walk. Obviously, we did some siding over here. Oh my goodness. Is that yep, we're already getting icicles. Yeah, the weather's definitely changed here in Texas, and these are pointy and sharp. And, oh yeah, you gotta be careful of that stuff. These are rare icicles. They're really great stuff though.
That was not a hard nut to crack.
Oh, huh. You guys are still here. That's interesting. So obviously we put this door in today. We put some siding, more siding up around the corner. We put this siding up and this trim.
then up here, let's take a look. We got all this siding up, not all of it, but a good portion of it. And it's like we are giving this coffee house a facelift, right? Because we're stretching the skin and we're cutting along the hairline. So I went to this plastic surgery anonymous class, Mike, and the person in charge was like, I see a lot of new faces out there. And I was like, is that because I'm a new face? And I looked around, I was like, oh, these are regulars. It's because they keep getting facelifts. And then I was kind of embarrassed. I thought, you know, these are the type of people, nothing against anybody that gets plastic surgery, I'm just telling a joke and making a point here. They're like, nobody accepts me the way I am. And like, you don't accept you the way that you are. I mean, like, I hate to point out the obvious here, but you don't even accept you the way you are. So I do want to talk about this real quick. A lot of you, a lot of people, and we are bred to do this because our entire lives we've been told, it's somebody else's fault you are the way that you are. You have a disease that makes you the way that you are. You're an alcoholic and that's a disease and it's your parents' fault and their parents' fault. You're a drug addict and that's a disease and that's somebody else's fault. You know, you got ADD and you got whatever in the world, whatever your label is, don't let that define you. Because I know a lot of people that have, and don't take this the wrong way, real diseases and they don't let that define them. I know personally people who are blind who climb Mount Everest. And you're like, it would be very, very, very easy to go, well, I'm blind. Obviously, I'm not going to do that. In fact, I don't have to do anything. And Mike, your wife.
Yep.
Right? I mean, she's blind.
And does everything. And
she does everything. She keeps the house clean. She, like, is an inspiration to everybody she meets and is a hard worker. Am I wrong?
Yeah, absolutely right.
Right. I know people who don't have legs, who do things, who work hard, that do construction. I know people that don't have fingers, that play tennis against John McEnroe. Like, I know people that do amazing, amazing things that have real problems. I know people that are born and then they end up with type 1 diabetes. I know a lot of these people because I do their shows. And they're like, I'm not going to let this define me. And they go and they do amazing things anyway because they're not going to let their disease or their label define them. So here's my advice to you. If you're like, I don't, you know, it's not my fault I'm this way, it's my parents' fault. How long have you been an adult? Man up. Stop blaming your childhood. Stop being a victim. Man up and be the hero that you want somebody else to be, right? You go and find it within yourself and you go do amazing things. Don't make any more excuses. What you gonna say, Mike?
If you're looking for an excuse, you'll find one.
True story. But if you're looking for a reason to do it, you'll find that too. So push on through and do amazing things and be an inspiration to people because you can do much more than you think that you can. And we only limit ourselves when we listen to lies like that. So don't do that. Anyway, we're going to take the weekend off because I got to do a 48-hour film festival. I'm very excited about it. And then we'll come back Monday to this and do some more. And then soon we're going to be building a new house out in Cleveland. And I'm so excited to show you guys. And then soon, hopefully, if the city of Kennedale ever decides to, then I will start building those 10 houses in my neighborhood. So very, very excited. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Love you. Bye.